they're talking about low fantasy magic setting. I actually kind of like that as an idea. A lot of the high fantasy magic always starts to be really exceptionally. Yeah, I know Planegea is a good example of that too. Our last question for the evening is from whole 7 years ago. Can you imagine? 7 years ago.
Oh, I can't. I don't know when that was.
It was so long ago. It was 7 years. No, it was half a score ago. Ideas for spells in a Stone Age RPG.
I mean, I have a whole book.
We'll get to it in just a second because that's a good way of introducing it. I'm gonna tell you what they wrote though. I'm currently working on a D&D based RPG set in the Stone Age, with races and classes translated into that era. One of these classes is the Shaman, Stone Age equivalent of wizard, with knowledge on various spells. However, these spells are actually natural physical phenomena, with some small amount of low fantasy magic involved that are simply seen as magic by these people. E.g., fire would be an example of a level 1 spell. Any idea of other spells that could be done? Okay.
This wasn't written by someone I know, was it?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
Anyways, the reason I asked is because I have this nice book right here. It's Planegea.
I am somewhat familiar with Planegea, yes.
Star Shaman Song of Planegea by David Somerville.
Yes.
Thick. But it is a Stone Age fantasy role-playing game.
Got it.
So if you're looking for spells, maybe check this one out.
Exactly. This is a plug for David Somerville's Planegea.
You need to check it out if you're into this. Because prehistory, that's what it does. Just all sorts of stuff. Magic is new and wrought in Planegea. Kinships guard their arcane secrets, and the gods' force and death itself punish those who encroach on their domains. Find new spells for all casting classes here. Let's see if there's any spells. Hold on. Let me give you some ideas. Spells 1 of 3. Blood magic. Fairy. Choose a creature you can see within range. That is within 5 feet of the ground. The creature must succeed on a strength saving throw. On a fail, creature takes 68 bludgeoning damage and is forced just below the surface of the ground. There's just, many pages of spells in here.
I guess the short answer here is you could just pick up Planegea. If I were looking for a way, like if they were actually trying to take existing spells and kind of like rework them into like a naturalistic one, I can see doing that too, where you could, take like mold earth as a way to do like irrigation or something like that, just like make stuff work in that way. Because a lot of spells, especially like they're saying shaman equivalent to wizard, I almost feel like shaman should be more equivalent to like a druid. And so if you're doing
a shaman is its own thing.
Yeah.
And wizard still is its own thing too, but like you can still have a wizard that deals with like nature-ish magic and Stone Age type magic. Again, like druid is very specific, in tune with nature, plants and animals. Shaman is usually very in tune with the elements. Then a wizard could be like, I'm in tune with just arcane stuff. It's just primordial, it's Stone Age arcane stuff, which might be like arcane dinosaurs or stuff like that. Maybe they're spirits of a sort that are just like monsters from that age. Sabertooth familiar, for instance.
Ooh, I'd love to have a Sabertooth familiar. That seems overpowered, but I'll take it.
It can be overpowered. Depends how you overpower it.
I make a summons, my summons for like summon animals or something like that is Sabertooth tigers. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, as Cray had just said, Far Cry Primal style versions, visions where you're a mammoth.
Yes. Then you just turn
if I remember correctly, in Far Cry Primal, Cray was like, I've got a big cat and it's going to murder everyone.
That's also fun. Yeah, you can have the saber-toothed tiger, you can have the mammoth, and you had something else. I can't remember which one it was. Was it a wolf? I want to say it was a wolf.
I don't remember. I didn't play Primal. Graded, though. Leopards are OP, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it was Far Cry 4, but then they reskinned it. But they do that with, like, literally every one of the games now.
That's just what Ubisoft does. Speaking of Ubisoft, did you know that we're going to have our first ever open-world Star Wars game?
So anyway, back to Stone Age RPGs and spells, which I'm pretty sure the new Star Wars open world is not going to have.
Could have spells. There's magic in Star Wars, but we're not talking.
Is it magic or is it the Force?
It's yes. It is both. The Night Sisters use magic, but it is based on Force powers.
Right.
It is part of the Force. It is still just the Force. It is just they use it as magic. Cray says, in regards to like Far Cry Primal, I believe. But yeah, they had the shaman style guide where you drink stuff for spirit visions. Not sure how that'd be a spell, but making others see things that aren't there.
Oh,
yeah, you could definitely
minor
have
illusion.
Minor illusions,
yeah.
visions.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit journeys, kind of things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Spirit walks, something to that effect. But yeah, minor illusion would be a good one for that. Anything that's illusion magic could work out really well for that.
Oh yeah.
To let people see visions. I'm trying to think of the other schools of magic for D&D. We've got Abjuration, that's the pure damage spells. You've got the
No, evocation is
evocation.
Abjuration is like shield spells.
Oh, okay. Well, that could also work in this context in order to like almost create armor or something to that effect. Yeah, or protection magic of some effect to ward against spirits or whatever you have. And then obviously illusion magic we just talked about a second ago. And those are the only 3 schools of magic.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. There aren't like
so you could
10.
Easily have a lot more elemental based schools of magic if you were going to do a set in the Stone Age type theme.
Yeah.
Where instead of doing like arcane versus divine versus, nature, you would have more schools of nature magic, I would want to say, than just like maybe arcane could be a very small school because it requires knowledge and that's learning, which is not a thing you're going to do as much in the Stone Age probably, but you could still have it be a thing they can tap into.
Sure.
Like the Feywild almost, or the Shadow Weave. But you could also do, all the different elements, earth, air, fire, water, ice. You could add more rock, stone, mineral, metal.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it more akin to like Avatar, which again I also have another book for that too, and they're not magic; it's bending.
Avatar is a great idea because you just jack into everything with your tail. I always like that.
Not that Avatar.
Oh, sorry, the other kind of Avatar.
No one ever talks about that Avatar, Nathan. Very disappointed in you.
Sorry, but also in Avatar: The Last Airbender, they jack into things with their tails.
They do not.
Okay, so...
Yip, Appa.
So that happened, and I don't know what that means.
You need to go watch the actual cartoon.
That's great. I'm only like 15 cartoons behind at this point, so I'll get there.
Yeah, you also need to go watch Adventure Time and Gravity Falls
And according to my niece, I have to watch Hell of a Boss, and I have to...
No, you don't. I haven't watched it, and I'm fine.
They're talking about low fantasy magic setting. I actually kind of like that as an idea. A lot of the high fantasy magic always starts to be really exceptionally... Yeah, I know Planegea is a good example of that too. But high magic settings do have a tendency to make magic very, very powerful. Almost too powerful for the setting. And... almost impossible for you to not use some form of magic if you want to stay competitive at higher levels. Low magic, though, at least gives the idea of, like, fantastical, otherworldly properties, but without really feeling out of place or overpowered for the setting itself. So yeah, like, you could take those basic spells, Even things like Fireball, and you could just like use that to make bonfires or something like that. You know, just take those spells, reduce them down a lot in terms of the power that they provide, and also just utilize them in a natural way that maybe we might think of as like physics and science, but they might see them as something more magical and fantastical.
Sure, why not?
And then I guess if you wanted to get any more ideas, Planegea by David Somerville.
Planegea, published by Atlas Games.
I believe on sale places. I'll have to see if I can find a link when I put the video up.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, just to see, hey, if anybody wants to find out about Stone Age RPGs, we got one.
My name is in the special thanks, so make sure you pick that up.
Mine isn't, because I'm not special enough.
Prey says that she sees physics videos all the time that look like magic. Well, yeah, physics is magic.
Physics to someone like 500 years ago,
not even physics to people today.
That's true.
You ever seen those little things? They're held up like they got like chains that use tension.
Oh.
You got the piece here and the piece above it, and you fold it, and it's just literally just floating because it's held up by tension with chains.
Oh, okay. So if anybody has any ideas about what you might want to use for Stone Age spells, let us know some of your amazing thoughts in the comments down below. Who knows, maybe they were already in Planegea.
It's for 5th edition D&D. Get it now while you can.
It should still be functional when 1 D&D actually releases them.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, you can still do it.